let's talk about today, because I think it's remarkable the resonance this has. What do you extrapolate from it from where we are right now with President Trump? I think the thing that makes him more like Carter, right? I mean, you've had approval ratings similar for George W. Bush, certainly. It's not. It's in this day and age, probably his approval ratings aren't as shocking as they might have been at another time. But I think what makes it interesting is that like Carter, he had sort of swept in and hijacked the party, right? He'd sort of come in and taken over a party apparatus that was not necessarily predisposed to him in the same way that President Trump has. So do you think there are lessons to be learned from that moment for where we're headed in 2020?
Well, I mean, as you say, Carter took over the party but was disdainful of the party establishment. They were able to sort of figure out before anybody else did the ways that the primaries had changed, and that's probably will bore most people. But they exploited the system that had changed recently. Trump, took over the party more through just blunt force, social media, and celebrity. So that was a little different, but they both came in as outsiders, disdainful of the establishment. That is very similar. I always thought that was interesting, the parallel between the two. And I think when you look at whether or not Trump gets primaried, as Carter was, by somebody within his own party, we just don't know enough yet. I've actually been talking to Republicans in New Hampshire today just about where they feel like that is headed, and I'm getting a variety of responses. Some people think there's no way, which I think is way overstating it. Some people are more bullish on it, which I think is also overstating it. The smartest thing I've heard is that the door has cracked open a little bit recently, and I think that's exactly right, because I think because of the shutdown and the way that Trump has now been embarrassed to some extent in the eyes of his base, that opens the door, but it's got to be the right person, and is John Kasich that person? We don't know. Is Larry Hogan, the Maryland governor, that person? I don't know that that's the case. But
right. And we've never had that kind of challenge from the center. Even Kennedy was coming from the left of his party. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think we have to just remember events largely will dictate whether or not this happens or not. External events, the hostage crisis, the energy shortage. These are the things that shape our politics in ways that we can't predict.